hearts will hit. On with the show, this is it.
We did it. I almost forgot it. I don't always have one every episode. Well, I kind of almost do, but I do one a day. This doesn't have aspartame in it, but it has the caffeines and the taurines and all the rains, and we got a great one today. Already off to a great start today with my stupidity. But speaking of non-stupidity things, we got Angela Curry. See, you thought I was gonna call you stupid, didn't you?
No.
You thought
You always surprise me.
You always.
I like how every time you have to specify that it does not contain aspartame. It's like,
well, we get new viewers.
That's true, but
and also people tend to think all I do is freebase aspartame all day.
They do.
They do think that. It's like I really don't drink that much aspartame.
I'm drinking Maison Perrier. It's a seltzer water.
It's got fancy up in here. Got
it's
bouginess up in here.
Bougie.
Speaking of bougie, we have a very bougie guest because I changed his name in the thumbnail.
What's your name? No, just kidding.
What's your name? Who are you again? No, I'm a fan.
We've had so many guests that we're just messing them all up.
We've had so many guests. I've been on so many streams with Frog. I've been promoting like crazy. I've been working on other content, other stuff. I've been trying to go live and grow the channel and also promote Frog more. And so I don't know why, but Julious is here, everybody.
Hey.
Not Lucius, everybody.
Not Lucius.
No, I'm going to change the thumbnail. We were discussing backstage how I'm an idiot.
Well,
and,
yeah, I wanted to make sure how to say. I mean, what is that? Remember that orange juice place that was
Orange
in the mall?
Julius. We still have them.
Julius.
Well,
still we don't. I don't think.
Julius, have you ever had an Orange Julius?
Yeah, of course.
Julius?
Yeah. Well, we Dairy Queen bought out Orange Julius, so some of the Dairy Queens here still have the Orange Julius. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Okay. That's what happened.
Hockey hates Orange Julius stuff. He hates that orange with the cream froth flavor stuff. Despises it. Hockey's Australian.
I never got into Orange Julius when I was little.
So good. Have you ever been, Julius? People ever been like, Julius, Orange Julius?
Orange Julius?
No. This is the first time.
You're like, no, thanks for making fun of me.
Is it Julius Caesar? You get called Julius Caesar then? Is that what do you like? Yeah, what happens?
Hold on. No, wait, before you say that, is it Julius or is it Julius?
Yeah.
Julius.
It is Julius. Okay.
Julius.
Okay. So is it because of Julius Caesar? Is that why?
No, it's Julius Freeman is a pen name.
Oh, so you're incognito. So your real name is Lucius. I found you out. I discovered you. Shh.
What is it? You're a seer. What is that? You're going blind, so maybe your sense of
seer. Yeah,
you can actually
or
like
a scryer. I could scry in a pool. Yeah. You don't know what a scryer is?
I don't, maybe, but not in a pool.
I never heard.
A scrying pool. It's like a cauldron with water in it.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
Things. I did not know that was called that. Okay. I was picturing like the pool outside.
Yeah, it's called an education.
Yeah,
look it up. No, I'm kidding. I'm actually dumber than a box of hammers. But speaking of dumber than a box of hammers, we got a chat.
Oh.
Say hi to chat.
Hey, what's up, Oli?
Oliver is here. Thankfully, he's not here. Who's first? Cheers, Oliver. Awesome one.
Yeah, a big one.
Dude.
Awesome.
Paulus Arts. Hi, Paulus.
Up, Paul?
He loves those. I'm guessing he means Orange Julius.
Yeah, probably Orange Julius. I like the triple berry one. That was my favorite.
And then Shelby is asking, "Aren't you glad I made it?" So cheers, Shelby. Yeah. Hey, bud. So,
don't tell stupid jokes like that ever again, Shelby.
We'll have more people coming in here too later.
Yeah, no. If people linger, they watch, they lurk. If you're watching now, please hit the like and subscribe. Also, if you don't, what?
Sorry, Paulus Arts. My filter was off. He's saying, "Thanks for noticing I was dumb."
Anyway,
if you miss hi.
you don't care anything about what we might have to say, check out Ghetto Dragon. Link is pinned at the top of the chat and in the description below. Give it a gander. Like I said, if you don't care, or share it out and you're like, hey, screw Jason, we don't care what you have to say. But we hope you stick around. We got Julious. I've been on your channel, great channel. I watch your channel, Lucid, Comic Productions, if you will. How did you come about that name?
For a while there, I was really into lucid dreaming, like my late 20s, because I sometimes would have lucid dreams during that time. Not so much now, but back then I had quite a few, and then the name that word just stuck, lucid, and of course it just means when you're aware or alert, whatever, and so yeah, it just stuck, and eventually I just one day blurred out a lucid comic, and I liked the sound of it, and that's why I wrote it that way.
So how mad are you at Michael Bancroft for making the comic?
No, I'm not mad.
I'm not for a while I'm
not mad at all. You know why? Because ideas are out in the ether, and they're for the picking.
Have you been on with Bancroft? Because he has, I think he still does do lucid dreaming. I think he still does.
Lucent.
Wait, you're saying that Bancroft does lucid dreaming?
Yes.
Like on his
the lucid dreaming. Yeah. That's what he claims. He's not always, but he claims he does. That's why I was curious if you ever been out with him.
I've been on the show, but it was a couple years back, and we didn't get to dive into it. Although this time around, if I'm ever on the show and I'm a guest on the show, we'll probably end up talking about lucid dreaming, because that's a subject that's very fascinating for me. And I don't think too deeply about it now, because like I said, I don't have many of them. Although there have been some nights where it almost activates, but then, because the trick is if you get too excited or whatever, you get out of it and you end up waking up, or the dream changes, or whatever the case. But once you become lucid in your dream, it's I have to say it's quite an experience. Have you ever had a lucid dream, you, Jason, or Angela?
I don't know. Maybe I have. I don't know what this. I never assumed.
Okay. Explain to the audience and those out there what this is.
So lucid dreaming is pretty much, if you are an active dreamer when you sleep, maybe not every night, but some people have various levels of how much they dream. There is a thing where you can become aware, because a lot of the time when you're dreaming, you're not aware that you're dreaming. You're just playing you're almost like a character inside like this movie in your brain, in your unconscious state or in your sleep state. And so you just kind of go with the motions. You don't know what's going on, and you think you're awake, not awake in terms, but you think you're living a life. You know how you have those dreams where you go to school in your underwear, and you're like, why did I go to school in my underwear? What was I thinking? Right? You're not really thinking that you're in dreaming. But a lucid dream is when you in this situation where something's outrageous, and you realize in the dream that you're actually dreaming, and then somehow the dream kind of activates. It kind of gets brighter. And now you're able to walk consciously the way you and I right now are in our wakeful state in the dream, and you could do whatever you want. You can control it.
Yeah, you can control your dream.
And it's pretty crazy, man. Like waking up from those dreams, you're waking up like, wow, and you remember it. You remember every detail because you were able to control it. It's kind of, like I said, an amazing experience.
Mm-hmm.
I remember watching some talk show, and they were talking about talking to things in your dreams, and I'm just when I'm dreaming, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. So I'm still just trying to figure it all out. So
exactly.
I remember mine sometimes when I wake up and stuff. And then sometimes I'll even, like, if there's a person I know that in real life, because they even say you don't make up anybody when you're dreaming. Everybody that you see in your dreams is people that you've seen in real life. Your brain can't make people up in your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like if somebody I even know, I might be like, hey, make sure you drive safely, because I don't know, I had this dream of a car crash or something stupid, but or like, some ridiculous thing, but I never really fully take control of the dream. But I have woken up and like, wow, that was pretty wild. And I'll remember some aspects to it usually, and I try to retain some of them. One thing I would love to do, which I just can't just because of the stupid eyeballs, is people wake up and they'll take notes right away, because they often say when you're going to forget your dream usually when you wake up, but if you do it right when you're fresh in your mind and you wake up, you jot something down, great ideas can come from that. And sadly, like I said,
absolutely,
I would do that if I could see a notepad. But
voice recording, dude. Voice recording.
Voice
I used
recording.
to voice record my dreams. Yeah. I
Yeah,
had some
voice
wild
recording.
dreams
That's the
back in
best.
day.
That's the best option
Yeah,
you have, bro.
For sure.
Then knowing my luck, I'll hear like some spirit come through the recorder too, and I'm like, to get freaked out that my house is haunted. I don't know.
I heard a story. This person had just this crazy dream life, and she one time dreamt somebody was in a flood, and she woke up because it startled her, and it was her daughter. So actually, in real life, her daughter was actually in a flood.
Wow,
that's crazy. Of course, her daughter got
that's crazy. No, that is crazy. That does happen sometimes.
Well, I have dreams like, and I have dreams where I get in a car and I start driving. Like I also, which I used to smoke, so I'm constantly lighting up in my dreams. So I miss smoking. I do. I like smoking.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm always I'm like usually smoking in my dreams. I'm like, I like that. But
a lot of people in the chat, they're saying that they don't dream, or they like Henry Bemis.
Yeah,
like you heard about lucid dreaming, couldn't get the hang of it. Awesome one said he dreamt about going to 7-Eleven and with the brightness of colors. I think he's being silly, but that's awesome.
No, that's actually kind of true. That's true. That's what happens. That's what happens when you lucid dream.
Maybe then he's not. Okay, I'm sorry, awesome one. But Scarlet Fever says,
"What's up, Scarlet?
I dream in full color in most dreams, and if it's a nightmare, I can walk through a door or fly away into another dream." That's crazy, woman.
Dude, that's 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know Luke says he doesn't dream. And the thing is, you do dream. You just don't remember your dreams. Like people do dream. They may be like, "Oh, I don't dream at all." It's like, well, you do. You just don't remember any of it, and so you think you don't. So, but Luke doesn't dream, and I will say for the sake of that purpose that you say you don't dream. So Luke doesn't remember his dreams, or he doesn't dream at all. I do dream in color, but I don't always remember that color. So, but yeah, so really it's pretty cool. But no, I wanted to ask you that just because of the name of your comic productions, and then also that's where Lucid came out, and
that's where it came from.
Nice, I like it. And so, speaking of comics, I always ask everybody because I do get curious. I think you did tell me already, but for the sake of the people, the millions that we have watching right now, how did you get into comics? Do you remember your first comic book you ever bought?
Yeah, absolutely. I was the first time I was introduced to a comic book. The actual comic book itself, the idea behind it was I was 12. My cousin, who was about 15 at the time, came over to my house, and we were all hanging out at the house. And he pulled out this comic book, right? And I had never seen one before. I never even knew they existed. And he was like, "Look at the artwork in this book," and he's showing everyone, and we're all like, "Ooh, wow! Like, wow! Look at that! Wow, crazy!" It was Spawn #1 by Tom Cornyn.
I don't get it.
And so I was looking through it, and I remember just looking at it, and I just asked my cousin, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a book called Spawn." I said, "No. What is this?
What is this product?
Yeah, what is this? It's just like a short, like a novel or something." He's like, "No, it's called a comic book." I was like, "Comic book?"
So you never even heard of a comic book?
No.
Wow,
I knew the newspaper.
Yes. And magazines probably.
Yeah. So I knew of that.
Strips. I got you. Yeah.
They come in book form.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the first time I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" Right. So then he told me, "Oh, it's called a comic book," and I was like, "Where do you buy these?" And he's like, "I don't know. I just borrowed it from my friend because I like the art." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So that was the end of that. So fast forward a year, my dad took me and my siblings to the mall for back to school shopping. And as he entered the entrance to the mall, there were some outlets outside the mall, and he drove by a comic shop. I saw all the posters of Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, all that stuff. So I made a mental note. Okay, I know where that's at now. I could just take the bus, get my chore money, and that's what I did the next weekend. I went, took the bus. I was 13. Had $40 in my pocket. I entered that shop, and that was it, man. The rest is history. The rest is history.
$40, you're buying like 45 comic books.
I know you probably got a lot.
Yeah. Oh, and then can you imagine 13-year-old me, who I knew who Superman was, I knew who Batman was because of the movies. I didn't know everything else about the comic book industry, so I'm entering at this shop. Cosmic Comics was the name of the store, and the front door, the glass door, had the Kingdom Come battle scene. The Alex Ross battle scene. I remember looking. Before I even walked in, I was like, "What in the world is this?" I was like, "Dude, this looks like a Rockefeller painting." And I walked in, And of course, just like Wizard of Oz, Dorothy in first stepping out of the house, colors. I was like, wow.
It is pretty surreal, like, because even going from just the regular outside world, once you step into a comic shop, it, like you said, it's like Oz, man.
Yeah.
You're just like inundated with just fantasy and just just craziness. You're like, this is wild stuff. This is fun stuff. So you never even knew what a comic book was. Like I said, you knew of superheroes.
Yes.
You didn't know they were in legible format.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't know. I had no idea. I thought they were kind of like like the Transformers deal. It was created by a corporation to sell toys to to kids.
Yeah.
Right.
And so when I found out that no, it was actually from thank you. I moved up on the world, and so so when I went to the comic shop and I realized that Superman and Batman came from actual comic book publishing companies, and they just licensed them out to the Hollywood corporations to have the rights to produce it. That's when it all like, okay, this is where it all comes from. This is cool. I like this.
Oh, yeah.
So when you went into the shop and the 40 stacks, do you remember, like, aside from Spawn, do you remember the first one that kind of like, you were like, oh, this Green Lantern dude's kind of weird looking, I want this one? Like, do you remember, like, what was your main bulk of? Do you remember it all?
Oh, when I started actually,
because like mine was Thor. Like I'd go in and pick up the Thors and like
it was the safe bets, right? Superman. It was Superman. I grew up loving the cartoons. I grew up loving the movies. So that was the natural first choice where I would just buy Superman issues every month when I started collecting. And then of course the others, which was X-Men or Wolverine, specifically Wolverine. Yeah. So I'll start buying those books, and on occasion Spider-Man, but I really couldn't get into Spider-Man too much because I really started liking, as I got older, I started liking more of the edgier stuff.
Right.
And so I still bought Superman, but then when I realized that some of the stories weren't up to par, but I started reading other stuff where I started gravitating towards.
Let me ask you this, as somebody who's not the biggest Superman fan, I like the movies, okay? Like I prefer those over the comics themselves. It depends on the creative team on the book, right, as to whether or not I'm going to pick up an issue. What is the appeal? What is the appeal of Superman? Because my friends and I have discussed this plenty of times, and we're like, the dude could just stand there and let everyone die, and everything's fine. He doesn't have to do anything. Like what I do know kind of partially an appeal to his character, but to me, isn't Clark Kent the main appeal of Superman?
Well, I can't speak for everyone but myself, so I'll tell you why.
I want to know
why Superman appeals to me is because he is a selfless character. He's a someone who can easily take over the world, easily pretty much just rule the world, but chooses to protect the people that are unfortunately weaker than him from outside powerful forces that want to conquer or take over Earth.
So keep going.
I was gonna say the fact that he's a selfless hero, which is what heroes are supposed to be. He's just a Boy Scout, and I understand why people would say he's old-fashioned or he's kind of like that. That kind of character, that ideal character, can't exist in today's cynical world. And I say, well, no, that's even better, because you do need beacons of hope. You do need characters that will stick to their principles, stick to their moral code, and never bend it for anyone, because it's the matter of principle, not their own self grandeur-ness behind it. It's more of a no, I do it out of principle, right. And I like that connects with me. Protecting weaker people or the voiceless or whatever the case may be. I think that's like a human thing that we all have.
Did you see the movie? Oh, go on.
Oh yeah, I've seen all the movies.
Yeah,
I don't know. Can we talk about? Did you agree with the? Because that was. Can we spoil it?
You can say spoilers by now. I mean, it's been out long.
Yeah.
So
it's been
there was a scene where basically they were trying to say that his parents, like his actual birth parents, were evil.
Right.
And so it's interesting that you're making that. That's where you're saying the appeal to him is the fact that he had the power to do evil, but he did good. So I think that's interesting, because that was kind of what James Gunn was trying to convey with the movie. I mean, granted, I didn't agree with it, but Anyway,
Yes, I didn't see
that.
the movie, but I know everything about it, and that was one thing that my friend told me. Inkspots told me that I was like, "Oh no!" That they sent him there for that purpose rather than to be a beacon of hope. Which I don't know. What do you think, Julius?
I see. Like I'm a little bit of a purist in the sense of I believe that every artist should have the right to interpret whatever they want to interpret the character that they take a hold of. So, for instance, Zack Snyder, Man of Steel, a lot of people don't like that interpretation, but I see it as like, well, that's his. I may not agree with it. I may not have done what he did, but I could respect it. So I don't mind it. I don't mind that he snapped Zod's neck because at this point, I'm kind of just over the whole like, oh, they got to keep it the way or else screw it. It's more like, well, do whatever you want. If I want to watch, I'll watch it. If not, but going back to the James Gunn thing, and the parents, with the little twist of him, they wanted him to take over Earth. I like that. It worked.
Okay.
It worked for the modern times because it really did solidify or kept the fundamentals of the core characteristic of Superman, which is I choose to be human. And that's why I like the speech at the end too, where he tells Luthor that, I wake up every day, I put one foot forward and I don't know what's going to happen, but I just do it just like human. And that makes me human. And I like that.
Oh,
So would you say maybe he would, considering his character and his overpoweredness, one might say, would you say he's probably one of the harder characters to develop a story for, mainly because he's almost like, there's magic and kryptonite. That's pretty much it. Aside from that, he's impervious to anything. So would you say maybe, and he is, so would you say maybe he's probably one of the harder characters to write for, mainly based because of that itself? And you also have the juxtaposition of him struggling to be human and do the right thing, but then also have the power to do anything he wants. There is that juxtaposition. That's great to explore. But I think it makes it more difficult when you have the most, like, he's essentially a god. He's not the god.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So would you say it'd be like writing a Dr. Manhattan solo story. It's like, well, it's pointless. Do whatever. So would you say he's probably maybe a harder character, one of the harder characters to write for?
I would say, yeah, it would be tough. I think the key for a successful Superman story or stories is when you write something around him that challenges his ideals, which is Oli mentioned earlier about Action Comics number 7.
Yeah, I was gonna I didn't want to interrupt the conversation. Julius talked about Action Comics 7.
Yeah.
Talk about
and that issue
775.
Have you guys read that issue by chance?
Negative.
I have not.
No, okay. So
I'm not a Superman fan. Yeah.
Oh, right. It's one of the most it's one of the modern famous ones because it was written during a time when the Authority was a big deal. Remember when Wallstorm was publishing the Authority? So they were selling books like hotcakes, right? They were just number 1, top 10, top 5. And so, of course, the comic book reader at the time started asking the question, well, is Superman relevant? I mean, look at these cool anti-heroes in the Authority who are kind of like the badass version of the JLA. And so what Joe Kelly did for that issue, because he wrote that issue, the title is What's So Funny About Truth and Justice the American Way. And so he writes this team that's kind of like the Authority, but they're called the Elite. And they're going into Metropolis and they're killing bad guys. And so Superman obviously keeps telling them, hey, guys, don't do that. We don't do that here. And they challenge him and eventually gets to a point where they fight each other. Superman and the Elite fight each other in one of the moons of Jupiter. And they have this big old fight. It looks like they kill him, but then Superman, reveals that he's not dead. And he tells them, oh, I get it. I understand now. This is, now I understand what I have to do. And he, one by one, takes out each member of the Elite, just killing them, just like, my God, he's killing everyone one by one, right? And then when he gets to the last guy, he reveals that he didn't kill him. He just knocked them out, and they're back there, knocked out. And he reminds them, like, it's easy to be evil. It's easy to do what you do, but try doing it the way I did. I didn't, this is how powerful I am, but I choose not to be.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, he reminds them, I'm the hope that everyone needs. And it worked. It's one of those issues where it was like a regular monthly issue. It wasn't like anything special, but it blew up. That issue
it was a solo story. Yeah.
So that issue is the most sought out, and it's, I think, the most ideal of what Superman is in the modern age.
And you're not wrong. Like it's in plenty of people's lives and in times of crisis and events, like it's great to see that that beacon of hope, that one thing that you could look at and be like, there's still kindness, goodness, purity, in the world, and people that are truly altruistic that will just help others because they want to help others.
Exactly.
And it is good.
Exactly.
It is good. I still just don't like his power set. I think that's mainly, honestly, dude, I think that's mainly
no, that's fair. That's fair. Absolutely fair. That's why I don't mind. I didn't mind that James Gunn humanized him more, meaning, that he made him weaker, or as people say, weaker. But I dig that. I dig that. I said we need a Superman like that. Like,
well, he
Invincible
depended on his dog too much. That was the thing that annoyed me. The dog always had hit like Lassie, like, get me out of jam, boy. Like, it was just like, anyway, go on.
No, and again, that was another smart thing that James Gunn did, because he got all the dog lovers to like the movie.
Of course.
But I think I lost my train of thought. Sorry, I missed.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Angela. How dare you interrupt?
Fire me at the end. I'm sorry.
No,
I do that.
No, that happens to me. I just like, no,
I get the same way. Like, I'll start to ask a question, and then like somebody will just start talking. I don't want to hear what they have to say, or hear the question they might have from the chat or something, and then boom, gone. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think you're thinking of so many things at the same time.
Yeah, no, thank you. Awesome one reminded me. It's
thank you, awesome one.
Superman.
He is.
I like that they made him, I guess, weaker, because then that way when he fights someone who's near his level, he could get beat. Right. He get beat up. He get hurt. And in Invincible, obviously started that trope, and I like that. When I saw Invincible on Amazon for the first time, I was like, dude, if they make Superman like this, that'd be it. He would have another generation of fans. That will like him. And so I'm glad that James Gunn did that. The whole regenerating from the sunlight. Oh, you're at 80%, fully healed, so don't go back out there. That kind of thing. It worked for me.
Well, and like this is what, and I know we're on a kind of a tirade about it, but this is what we're about: comics and pop culture.
Absolutely.
My friends and I were, because this is how this kind of came about anyway, and I know you're a Superman fan. But my friends and I were talking about Superman versus the aliens, because that did happen. They fought in the comics, but the debate was more or less because he was weakened in that comic, and
it was the Red Sun. I think he was in the Red Sun.
Yeah, he was in the Red Sun. Or so, like he was away from the Yellow Sun or something. I can't remember fully. It was so long ago. I like the artwork. Ink Spots didn't care for it, but it is
which book? Which book is this?
Superman versus Alien.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, well, the reason why we got onto this whole Superman thing back then, this wasn't that long ago, was because we were wondering if if a face hugger could implant an embryo in him. If it had any chance of getting an embryo in him, because if it did, you would then have a Kryptonian xenomorph, and how awesome would that be?
I mean, Superman is going public domain, isn't it? You could write that, Jason.
One iteration of it is.
One iteration, okay.
Well, this is why, and I think Julius knows, this is why they keep coming up with new iterations of characters, new designs, so that they could retain the copyright. So
that's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, a certain iteration of Superman with certain power sets is going into play.
So the leaping over buildings, the whatever that Joe Shuster and Siegel wrote, that's going to be the Superman version. That'll be a public domain.
Yeah. So, but pretty much what we boiled it all down to was no. He could just stand there with his mouth closed, not breathe, not eat, not sleep, and let them all just die of old age. Now this was we had to have stipulation. He has to be within Earth's yellow sun, obviously, because he's for Superman, and stuff like that. So that was like the main stipulation was that. So it pretty much boiled down to no. It could never happen. There's zero chance of it happening. Really, there's like maybe a 0.00001% chance, which is essentially zero. So, but if he were weakened, now we're talking, because then if you get a regular Superman
in there.
Or something, or even if you take him away from the sun, like you get a regular. Oh man, how cool, Julius! How awesome would it be to see a xenomorph Kryptonian? That'd be so dope.
It would be dope. It's just a shame that conglomerate corporations own a lot of those IPs, and we'll never see the light of day of those.
Because it's the ultimate killing machine mixed with the power set.
Oh, dude!
One of them.
I'm salivating at the thought of it.
Forget about it. Just one of them is going to wipe out the planet. And imagine if that one ended up being a queen.
Well, see, you can add a layer to that, where now it's really going to push Superman to decide do I have to kill this life form? You know, am I going to have to kill this thing? Because if I don't, it's a killing machine, like you said. It's just going to kill everything in its path. And that would be an interesting story to tell in that perspective.
Do you think he would? Let's say the embryo attached, was able to stay within him. It bursts out. Do you think he would be able to survive that and heal?
And the yellow sun, and the yellow sun,
he could. You're right. So then he would be the only one almost. You'd have to be Kryptonian. You'd have to be Superman, Supergirl. You know, any Kryptonian really. Doomsday would probably have to team up with them, dude. We got a $1 million idea right here, man.
Do a bootleg comic. Oliver's down.
So. Yeah, I think we do. Maybe Superman decides to outsource the death and just gets Doomsday to do it for him.
Yeah, well, because
he can do a sketch card. Paulus Arts.
There you go.
Get everyone in this.
Okay, so Doomsday. If you kill Doomsday, he comes back impervious to you, correct? Like that's essentially Doomsday, right? Like he comes back. So if a xenomorph kills Doomsday, he then comes back to life, impervious to everything from his. Yeah. I'm telling you,
this is like Bambi versus Godzilla. It's just like...
I love xenomorphs. Have you been watching Alien Earth at all?
No, I don't have Disney Plus or.
Oh, you don't have Disney Plus? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you get access to it, I'm liking it. I think it's fun. Do you like the Alien franchise at all?
No.
All right, Julius, that was great talking to you.
I only like the first two. Lucius. The first two movies are
okay.
You
can stay. Those are acceptable answers.
Okay, yeah. Just the first two. I tried watching the third one. It just didn't feel like an Aliens movie. And then I watched Aliens vs. Predator, hoping that would be at least a fun popcorn movie. And it was, but it still left a lot.
Yeah. Well, those ones aren't canon at all. Like those don't even take place anyway.
But I still want to enjoy them.
I still wanted to enjoy
them. You know, but unfortunately, they didn't really deliver the way.
Do you delve into the sci-fi aspect of comics or anything at all that much, or do you more like a superhero guy? You like the fantasy?
No. I there was a while there where I really got into the 70s sci-fi European comics like Mobius and heavy metal. Mm-hmm. So I like that kind of sci-fi style of writing and stories, and I did write something kind of similar, which was the Reset Protocol, and that kind of had the same flavor as like the Mobius of like when he was alive during the 70s and 80s.
Well, speaking of writing, you got me to that because like, how did you get into the writing part of it? Because with comics, like you see them, and like you said, you even saw it, you were blown away by the artwork. Like, artwork. So, what got you into the writing side of things? Were you more into like novels and like fiction?
No. I was a TV kid from the 90s, man, the 80s. So I grew up on television. So I was all about television, all about movies. Novels didn't really come until college. College is when I really started to really appreciate.
I think that's usually the way it goes.
Yeah, because I finally read a good book that I enjoyed.
Which one was it?
It was a Jack London book. It was
okay.
Well, John Barleycorn. John Barleycorn.
Okay,
that was like a fictional story about his alcoholism, which I love. Yeah. I love.
Always fun to read.
Yeah, always always fun to read.
Thrilling.
So then writing, it was probably when I was 19. Yeah, I was 19. Around that time, that's when I started kind of phasing out of the superhero stuff. It was kind of felt like I'm not really digging what they're writing. I still like it, but nothing is keeping me there. And I started looking for edgier stuff, so I started getting into the Vertigo comics, more mature themed comics for a while there.
Right. And
that's when I came across V for Vendetta by Alan Moore and David Lloyd. And that was a book that I just got because I had store credit at a comic shop, and I was just looking for something new. And I thought, Alan Moore. I know who Alan Moore is. He wrote Watchmen, and everyone loves Watchmen. So I'll check out his other work then before I read Watchmen. So I bought that, started reading it. I thought it was boring as shit. and I like threw it across the room because I thought I wasted my store credit on like on the boring, dry British style written, story.
That's great.
And I had insomnia that night. I couldn't sleep, and so I thought I'll just read this book. And what was that?
No lucid dreams.
No lucid dreams. No. And so I thought, okay, I'll just read.
You'll read that to go to sleep.
Yeah, and now this will put me to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And so when I started reading it, I got through. I think once I got through the the British style of writing because I had never read it before. I just
Right.
I was used to the American style writing, right? So when I finally got through it after I think the second chapter or whatever it was, then I actually started to like it, and I was like, oh, dude, this is actually pretty good, you know. So I eventually got up from my bed, and then I read it in one night, in one sitting, that whole night.
Nice.
So I was at the edge of my bed by the end.
Oh.
And it was like just a gut punch. Have you guys read V for Vendetta?
I never read it. I only saw the movie. Yeah,
have you read it, Angela?
I have not read it. No.
Oh man, I
know the movie is different from the book.
The movie is way different.
Yeah.
Don't bother with the movie. If you really want the full story, read the comic book. It is fantastic. I also I get used to David Lloyd's art because I wasn't used to that kind of style of art.
Mm-hmm.
So once I got through it, I gut punch. I actually teared up in a few scenes. It was the first comic book where I was like, I actually felt something. It actually made me feel something.
Oh, cool.
You know, it didn't just like blow my mind away. I mean, that's great, but it actually made me feel for the characters in the story.
Right. You got invested. Yeah.
And so I started looking into it. I was like, did DC like ask him to produce? Because I didn't know the backstory, right? So I started looking into it, and I found out that it was actually something that he came up with David Lloyd together. Like they just met and came up with this idea, and they developed it, and they sold it to Warrior magazine, and they published it there in Britain. And I was thinking, then it just something like switched on in my brain. I was like, wait a minute, Alan Moore and this guy just got together and wrote this without permission. Like they didn't even wait for permission. And then it clicked. I was like, oh, I could do it myself then. I could just do this myself. And then that's when I started looking into, okay, what do I have to do with this? Is it a script? How do they make these? You know, how do they start making these books? Or what do I have to do? And that's when it started. That's what the ball started rolling with me wanting to write for comics.
Oh, wow. Nice. So you've been writing well over half your life.
Yeah,
much, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't very good those first 5 years.
They never are. Dude, you should see drawings of mine when I was like 14, 15. It's like, I don't even like stuff I did 3 years ago, let alone, you know, back then. So
I read some of my old scripts and whoo, man.
Yeah, it's rough. It's
brutal. You start somewhere, that's for sure.
Yeah,
so.
No, exactly. Exactly.
That's the whole thing. Everybody starts from a 0 point. Mm-hmm. Nobody starts off as a pro level immediately. There are savants out there, don't get me wrong, but even still, they sucked when they were a savant as a kid. You still suck. You just kind of know what you're doing.
Right.
So everybody starts from 0. You don't need permission to make a book if you have a cool idea or if you have an idea in general, even if it sucks. Put it out there. See what happens. You know, worst case scenario, nothing happens, and you just try again, or you learn from your mistakes and you get better.
Exactly.
This whole concept that you have to be insanely amazing at what you do in order to try for something, I think it's ludicrous. Everybody starts from a 0 point.
100%.
You don't grow in this. Yeah, and you don't grow unless you put your stuff out there.
Yeah,
if you never did any of this stuff, like when you were a kid. And mind you, you said you started writing when you were 19. Still, that's a kid nowadays for us.
Right. Yeah.
And it's kind of funny the way that works, which I'm still 15. But but you know, when you were a kid and you're writing these concepts and ideas, like, did you even think you would get to this point? Did you think you'd be like, oh, one day I'll have a comic, or did you think maybe I'll do movies, or maybe, you know?
I wanted to do TV shows.
TV shows. Okay.
I wanted to do TV shows. And of course, down the line, you know, when I got to my senior year in high school, I was active in theater and video production, my electives. Mm-hmm. And I really dug it. You know, I was like, and I saw myself, I wouldn't mind doing like a movie or being a TV director, you know, directing, acting. Cause I really loved theater. And I didn't think I was going to like it because I had to take it. They didn't let me leave early from school. I didn't have enough points or credits, whatever it was.
Right.
So I had to take another class, and theater was one. And I was deathly afraid of being on stage. But after, you know, I had a great drama teacher who really made all of us comfortable, and it was just it became fun, and I really liked it. And then it wasn't until like 19 when I read V for Vendetta where I was like, you can actually write powerful stories in comics. Like, you know, just like, you know how movies, we have the music cues, we have the acting, we have directing, and all those combined, you know, create an emotional reaction within us when we watch the movie.
Right.
And so comic books didn't really do that for me until Before Vendetta, where I was like, you could do it here too in this medium.
Yeah.
And so I took all the knowledge from theater and everything. I just kind of compressed it and focused solely on comics because I thought, and I still believe to this day, it's the best medium to tell stories in.
Oh no, and without a doubt, it is because you have both. You have the visual aspect that you get with the movie, and you also have the novel aspect that you get with writing. So you're meshing them together. Plus, like, yeah, there's a budget. You still got to pay a page rate to whoever or do whatever. But the budget for the content inside it is limitless. Like, you can have explosions, and you can have like, crazy things going on that you
can write a space opera that takes place in like the 10th parallel universe, whatever the case may be. And and you don't have to worry about a multi-million-dollar budget to make it a reality. You just need a great artist.
Now, as you're writing your concepts and your ideas, were you showing them to people? Were you like getting input?
Oh, no.
Yeah, see, that's what you got to do also. Everybody, you got to get your stuff out there. You got to show people, even if you think, even if it sucks. Yeah.
I didn't feel confident or comfortable showing to anyone until I was maybe 21. So it took about 2 years for me to get
okay, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
The anxiety, of like, here, can you read this and let me know what you think? It took me 2 years to get over that.
Which I think is probably more difficult for a writer to do than an artist, because if I could be I'd be at Denny's just drawing, somebody like, oh, that's cool. But if you're a writer, you'd be like, hey, can you read this? Take 20 minutes out of your life and read my thing. Like, that's gotta be because like I said, with an artist, you just glance at it, like, oh, cool. With a writer, you really have to sit down and be like, okay, and get invested within the content of it. And if it sucked, they're just like, I just wasted 20 minutes of my life. Like,
exactly.
Thanks, dude. So it has to be a lot harder and more intimidating as a writer to really show your stuff off. When you were doing so, were you showing it to other creatives, or was it just mainly your family and friends?
It was in my friends and my family first, and then I befriended a few employees from the comic shop that I used to go to when I was a teenager, and we became friends outside of the shop. And so I would show them stuff, and they would tear it apart and tell me, no, this isn't good.
Those are good friends.
Yeah, exactly. And so they taught me a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of like pacing, a little bit of you can't have all these things going on in one panel. You got to split them up and so on and so forth.
And that is the one thing about comics, is that like understanding the pacing of it. Like, you could do a lot more in a cinematic aspect within a short time frame than you can with a comic. It's like you gotta, and even still, you got to know when you can do it. You got to know when you can inject just a lot of things in one panel. So, yeah, it's definitely more difficult in that regard to write for a comic in a way. So, and when you were doing this, is this how you ended up meeting the 656 crew? Like, because you hang out with those dangerous cats quite often.
Yeah, no, the 656, it's fairly new. We only met each other really, about in 2019.
Oh, okay.
So not I was kind of an outsider for a lot of years. I kind of focused mainly on trying to get stuff produced on my end and try to see if I could get some local support to do print runs, because this is long before crowdfunding was even a thing. So everything was out of pocket. Everything was about meeting with your local artist or going on the web forums and seeing if maybe you could find an artist that's looking for work and who's affordable. And so I focused mainly on honing my craft, meaning what does it entail to be an indie creator? And a lot of it has to do with your own little enterprise in a lot of ways. You have to save your own money, right, for the budget. You have to let the artist know, hey, here's my budget. Here's what I can pay. Are you interested? Here's the story. And they can say yes or no. And then if they say no, you move on to the next person who hopefully will take the deal. And that's pretty much what I was doing during those years, those formative years, is figuring out through trial and error how to be a proper indie manager or production manager of a comic book.
Yeah, because you're wearing more than one hat whenever
exactly.
Like, you might be writing the book, but you're also, like you said, you're producing it, you're headhunting, you're editing almost sometimes. I mean,
and you have to develop the skill of spotting talent. Because you can't just hire anybody. And that was the mistake I made the first few times when I tried to produce short stories, not long-term short stories. So that way I could hone my craft as a storyteller. And that is, learning lessons like, oh, wow, this guy's portfolio is really great. how much you charge? I charge this much, right? And then you get the pages and you're like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? And what happened to the pieces I saw here? And you realize, he's never drawn sequentially. He's only drawn.
It's all splash.
Exactly. So it's like, okay, so you had to learn that, right? And also learning that was the first time where I was like, okay, I need to make sure that the person understands the fundamentals of sequential storytelling. Do you give me different angles when you lay out the thumbnails? Do you suggest things and collaborate with me, or are you just the person who just takes the direction and just draws what's on the script?
Right.
And so based on all that, I learned how I like to work with the artists I hire. And what you see now is the outcome of the 10 plus years of the trial and error. So 656 didn't come until I first introduced Ghetto Dragon on Indiegogo. And I joined their show and they dug what I was doing. And next thing I know, like they just started inviting me on, like, hey, come on, come on down, come on down.
Yeah, they're good. They're good people. They're cool.
Yeah,
cats.
they are.
I try to catch their show when I can. I don't always watch, but everybody go subscribe to 656 Comics. On YouTube.
It's a great show.
It's a great show. You guys love comics, and that's what I tell. Like, I try to promote. Like, Lucid Con Productions. I talk about your channel too because I like K-pop's channel. Like, I like comic books. I like pop culture. I like entertaining, fun, exciting things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And granted, I know you can't always talk about that your other things are going to come up sometimes, but like what you and Kyle have over on Elucid, it's great. I love it. You guys, you're a great team. You bounce off of each other. Great. It's a good channel. You're welcome, man. I mean it. But that's why I try to catch it when I can. And I'm not always there, but I do try to make it to your shows. So everybody go subscribe to Julius and Kyle over there.
Lucid Comic Production.
Yep. Link is in the description below. Link is also in the description below for this, and hopefully it doesn't bother.
It was an ordinary night during an ordinary jog when Matt Guerra stepped into his destiny. Using his Jeet Kune Do, Matt teaches would-be violators that the cost of crime is too high for them to afford. But little does Matt know, his act of bravery has run afoul of Los Valientes, Orange County's most notorious street gang. The head of Los Valientes, the mysterious Dreamer, decides to make an example out of Matt. And amidst a brutal game of tit-for-tat, where anyone could get caught in the crossfire, Matt Guerra must bring an end to Los Valientes' wave of crime before his loved ones pay the ultimate price for his heroism. Matt Guerra is the Ghetto Dragon.
I really love that trailer.
I dig that music.
Who did your trailer?
Anime. He goes by the name of Anime on X. He's also a comic book creator. He has his own book out, and one day he posted on his I saw on the feed that he was doing a contest, and the winner would get a free trailer that he would produce, and then the runner-ups would get a discount, and I was one of the runner-ups of the contest. So he DM'd me, say, here's the price. Are you interested? I was like, go for it. So I gave him all the materials he needed, and he made me that beautiful trailer, and I love it.
It's great. And Angela's right. Angela's right. I really do dig the music. I like funk. So, I dig the music that he put at the end there.
The music was fantastic, man. That was such a great addition to it.
Pulsar, subscribe to your channel. So
thank you, Pulsar. I appreciate that.
It's a fun channel. They tend to stream, I think, almost every Friday. So Friday night. So almost.
You've had Narwhal on. That was my first realization of your channel was you had Narwhal on when you did.
Oh, okay.
Vatican City or Pearburg, Vatican City.
Yep.
So
but this isn't Vatican City. It was a good show, but this isn't Vatican City. This is Ghetto Dragon. I read it. I like it. No, you're fine, Angela. We're promoting everything for
Ghetto Dragon. Back it now. Okay.
Well, I read it. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I really liked the you built up the character. You get to know about him, and then you get more involved into the story and what's happening, what's going on, like the ins and outs and the workings. And there's more to it in depth than what I first thought. So I like that. I was a little surprised by that. I was like, oh wow, okay, this is different. So yeah. So for those who didn't know and weren't privileged to get the PDF, Angela was like, I'm not reading this. I was like, thanks, Angela. No,
I will read it. I'm a little confused.
It's kind of long. I figured it's long. It was short.
No. We're gonna get to that. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
For those,
I mean, little long meaning like with the time in between before the show.
Oh yes.
Yeah. No, you're fine.
Thank you, though.
My eyes are still garbage. It took me, I think, 3.5 to 4 hours to read it. So I read it though. I was like, I'm finishing this. I'm determined.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I mean, when people send a PDF, I can read it at that point. So, and I kind of feel obligated. So.
No, and no, all the reason why I offered it to you is because I wanted you guys to have context, so that way when we talk about the story, you know.
No, yeah, and like with my channel, I kind of do it at the end of the show, and so but I also get worried whenever people do this. I get worried I'm going to spoil something.
That's right.
So that's why
I don't think there's anything. There's not anything big spoilery.
Let me just say this: I like the flower thing.
Okay, good.
All right,
cool. Okay.
I like that. Right. I was like, oh, I did not see it coming.
Okay, good. Oh, dude, I was scared. Okay. I was scared when I wrote that.
Maybe some people, I don't know. I kind of get lost in it, and I don't tend to, like, when I'm reading or watching something, I get invested in it. I'm not like, oh, this is going to happen, because every now and then I can predict something.
Right. No, I'm guilty of the same thing too.
Yeah. So I get invested in this story, and so I'm like, oh, you're a clever man, sir. So I liked it. That was a good twist, and I like the dreamer. I thought he was pretty cool. I like how at first he's mysterious, and then you get to know a little bit more about him midway through, and you constructed each one properly. I think as far as the pacing goes, you get to learn about Matt in the beginning, and you get to know about his lifestyle, and then you get to know a little bit more about the villains in the story, and then you get to know more about the family life. And it's a good juxtaposition. You did a great job in building the story. I really liked it.
Thank you.
So yeah,
that's great to hear.
And I'm backer number one anyway, so suck it.
Yeah, exactly. So you're already gonna get the good stuff.
That's right. You got it. But people, I liked it. Please back this. This is great. But for those who don't know, give us the 411.
Yeah, so Ghetto Dragon Book 1 Street Wars is pretty much my love letter to my upbringing. I was raised in a ghetto city. Not bad, but still enough where you couldn't, once it got dark, you had to go home. Because if you were out and about after dark, and you're a high possibility that you were probably going to get robbed or attacked by a gang member somewhere in an alleyway or in some back alley somewhere. It's also my love letter to Hong Kong martial arts cinema, which my mom actually got me into growing up. She was a huge Bruce Lee fan. She had the original Game of Death poster saved in her closet, and I to this day regret not taking better care of that poster, because it was one of the original ones. It was those huge, those big oversized.
Yeah, it's almost like that one, but
exactly, almost exactly like that size. Yeah. And so anyway, she got me into that whole Hong Kong martial arts cinema. And going back to what we talked about earlier about Superman, that's one of the other reasons why I got so into Hong Kong cinema, because it was about a guy who knew martial arts, who used it to protect the innocent. And he always, used their fist, and they always fight the bad guy. They protect the town that's being terrorized by the gang, that kind of stuff. And so I took that, and I combined, like I said, the experience of my upbringing, because I had an older brother who was an active street gang member, and he told me stories when I got older, some pretty crazy stories. Actually, I won't get into too many of those.
No,
today,
but
that kind of painted this picture of like, oh wow, so it's a little bit like Game of Thrones, but in the ghetto. Interesting, wow, this is pretty interesting,
Yeah.
And so I combined that too, and I developed the story because, again, I wanted to create this ideal character, as kind of like a Superman character. He's a guy who knows Jeet Kune Do, which is the martial arts style of Bruce Lee that he invented when he was alive. And the Jeet Kune Do martial arts style is the style with no style. It's pretty much a martial arts of pure street fight or what he called Mortal Kombat. Not the video game, guys. The
It's like
actual thing.
But it's like fighting in the moment and
fighting in the moment
at the hand. Like you fighting in the moment, so you got to do what you can do.
You got to do what you got to do
yep,
to
yep.
disable your opponent
Yep.
because your opponent wants to disable you first. So that's the whole key of Jeet Kune Do, is to disable your opponent as quickly as possible. Because as he wrote in his in many of his books that he wrote when he was alive was, one punch can kill you, not because of the punch, because maybe you fall over and you hit the corner of something. That's it. You're gone. And so that was the idea here of why in this first few pages you see here on the page of him just jumping into action and immediately disabling his opponents, breaking his shoulder there, and so on and so forth. So the whole story is that this here is when he saves a young girl being kidnapped, and it turns out that those are members of Los Valientes. They're a street gang that's very mysterious. They control the criminal underworld of Orange County, all of Orange County, and all the other local gangs pay tribute to this gang. And in this story here, Matt, they retaliate against Matt for getting in the way of their business, and it becomes a deadly game of tit for tat after that. And then eventually it culminates to them attacking his family. And after he attacks his family, the whole story is about him conducting his own covert operation to find their weaknesses and take them down single-handedly.
Yeah, and that's what I like. Like he's obviously not a billionaire that has access to all this tech and know-how and detective work. He kind of has to learn as he goes.
Exactly.
And you develop that. You go into that. Like you explore what that would be like then for a regular, person almost in poverty, like not totally in poverty, but close enough. He's in the ghetto to actually get these tools and utilize things. Like you even explain it perfectly. Like it's in there. It's great. I love how you went about everything. You paced it perfectly well. I think.
Thank you.
Yeah. And like I said, I really liked also even the villain. Like there's more to him than what you initially would think. So it's nice that you layered your characters in such a way, but you didn't expose it immediately. So
that was a challenge. When I wrote the story, I was like,
maybe you want to read this book.
Oh, thank you, Angela. Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's a good book, and it definitely, the end of it, I'm like, well, where's it going to go from here? So I am interested to see the next part of this, which is what you want. You want to leave people the cliffhanger enough to tantalize you a little bit. Like this is all I always say. This is why I know I like Alien Earth. I know I like certain shows that I'm watching because I want to watch the next one, because they, not just the ending left me hanging, but the content inside it got me being like, ooh, what are they going to do next? Like with this character, with this person. I was watching a show not too long ago and something happened and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. And there's like 5 more seasons of the thing. Right. I'm like, I'm just done. I'm like, screw this show. So, but no, this like I was reading this and I'm like, oh, how's he going to go about I'm personally more invested in a way in the Dreamer, just because there was enough meat on that bone. There's enough with Matt too. Don't get me wrong, but like I was like, oh, what is he gonna do with this Dreamer dude? Like this is kind of interesting. So I'm invested in that as well. So I like that you had me invested in the villain on top of the hero. So yeah,
good.
Yeah. Great aspects to it. And the writing style, everybody has their own unique character to them. It was really good. I enjoyed it. So yeah, everybody, you're going to want to back this, pick it up. And like you said, it's beefy also. Like, well, you just say the time frame between giving us the book and the thing, but it is a little beefy. I like that. I like that it's 71 pages. And you get a great bang for your buck here. So now, as far as art goes, how did you find the artist for this? Because the cover artist, I think, is different than the interiors, right?
Yes. The cover artist is Ken. I can never pronounce his last name, but he goes by Comic Ken on X, and that's the piece right there.
Yeah.
And I really liked his style. It's a bit of a manga influence, but I really dug his composition. I was like, this guy understands how to draw dynamic covers.
Yeah.
And I wanted to stay away from the homage covers because everyone's doing them. And I wanted to really dig deep and kind of, I want to create my own iconic cover, or try to anyway, attempt to. And so I had this idea of like, okay, I have this picture of Matt doing a Van Damme kick against 2 guys, and then the guy in front of him, he's punching out. And so I contacted Ken. I asked him, hey, I got this idea. Can you do this? But can you do it in a Jack Kirby-esque, the whole hand, the perspective, the shots that Jack Kirby made famous. And he's like, yeah, so he tried few things out. Nothing was really working until he gave me this sketch in this particular image in sketch form. And I was like, that's it. That's it right there.
Yeah,
that's the
I like
shot.
it. Yeah.
And
dope.
so we went with that. And I thought it was a very, very effective cover. And as for the interior artist, Alan Fletcher, I found on Instagram actually, and this goes again to, I see a bunch of his art. I liked it. I liked the style. It kind of had a little bit of a greediness to it, which is what I was looking for this story. And so I DM'd him and asked him, hey, do you draw sequentially? Because I see you post, right? You have splashes and whatnot, but can you draw sequentially? And he's like, I never tried it. I never tried to do it. And so we went back and forth, and eventually he did tell me, I actually been thinking about going into it, but I don't know where to start. And I went, perfect. I'll show you exactly what you need to do. So I hired him, and the first few pages, I actually thumbnailed the pages for him.
Nice. Okay.
And so I gave him to him. I said, here's the idea of how sequential storytelling works. And once he got that, off to the races he went.
Nice.
He learned real fast.
Well, his art style fits the book.
Definitely
it works. Here's I was curious, the tattoos on the Dreamer, who came up with those? Did you, or did he just put them in?
I asked him to put them in. I didn't have specifics. I just told him he is tatted up. All they want is the snake behind his head with that R1136 thing and the all CNI in the back.
Oh, okay. So what is that? I was curious about that because I even looked up that, or can you not say?
I don't know if he did it randomly or if he looked something up, but I actually don't know.
The
R1136 is. It must be something that he researched and
it's
didn't
not
tell
a
me.
verse in the Bible. I looked up
Revelation 1136.
There is no Revelation 1136.
I think
maybe not,
because if for the context, it's not a spoiler, but Dreamer is a Crowley disciple.
Oh, okay.
It could be a reference to a Lester Crowley book. Yeah, it could be a reference to that.
Okay. See, there
and
you
so
go.
and I love that eagle tattattoo in the back was fantastic.
He did a good job then. Because I was curious when I was reading. I'm like, man, who came up with these ideas? And what is R1136? Because I was like, see, this is how you know a book is good. It got me invested enough to look that up. Okay. So I was like, oh, what's this going on? I like this. So I stopped reading it to go look things up. So yeah,
you did. Next time, please ask him and tell us now, so we know.
I will. It's been a while since we've talked because he went back to school, which is why he couldn't finish book 2. He was originally supposed to be the artist for book 2, but since he decided to go back to school full time at the time, he just finished book 1 for me, and then that's when I went off and found Chepe for book 2.
Well, and that you talked about this on your channel, where and I agree with it fully. You wanted to finish this arc out,
yes,
and then because I hate it as well. Whenever I'm in the middle of reading a comic book story arc, and then all of a sudden there's a different artist in the middle of it, and I'm like, no, I didn't pay for that. I didn't want that. So now, but if it's a totally different story arc, have that artist draw that. And we did go into the why do they do that with the filler artists and stuff. I still say, and I know from drawing comics and drawing in general, it takes time. So they do it maybe so the other artists can kind of catch up a little bit. And you're like, well, what about the old school artists? That big discussion, great topic to talk about. But I agree with you. You finished out this book, you plot out, and then the next book, it'll have a different artist, but that arc will have him. Great. I think that's the right way to go about it. So yeah, and like you said, things happen though in life. Like it's not like we're hiring people that this is their only job and like this is what they do for a living, so they can just sit there and grind.
It took us roughly 7 years to get the book 1 done. Yeah, and the reason for that is because he kept moving. So he's originally from the UK when I first initially contacted him. And of course, he joined because it was a few reasons. One, because it was an opportunity for him to be taught how to sequentially draw by someone who's been doing it for a while and understood, the rules and all that stuff and the formatting. And then 2, he's a huge Bruce Lee fan.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
So
sweet.
that sold him was the fact that it was a homage to Bruce Lee, and he was like, "Great, I love Bruce Lee. Let's do this. I'm all about it."
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of
so it worked out. The stars were aligning for me finally at that point.
it's kind of
So-
a shame Frege doesn't really do anything anymore because he's a huge Bruce Lee fan.
Oh,
So
then yeah, this is right up his alley.
yeah, you,
right up his alley.
you guys would hit it off for sure, and you'd love
Yeah.
talking about. I like Bruce Lee too. I've loved all the movies. My dad was a Bruce Lee fan, so I watched all the movies. Big
There you
Boss
go.
is dope. Enter the Dragon, forget about
Oh,
it.
dude,
Enter
classic.
the Dragon is my favorite movie. Yeah.
It's usually everyone's favorite is Enter the
Yeah.
Dragon. Well, to be fair, it's a good movie though. It's a good movie. So
I
love Bruce
prefer Big Boss.
Lee. Big Boss is
my
dope.
favorite.
Big
Yeah,
Boss
Big
is
Boss
great.
is dope.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a really good movie. Bruce Lee's philosophy is fantastic. Even the movie with Jason Lee, Dragon, Bruce Lee story. Great
Oh yeah,
movie.
that was also great.
Yeah, he did a great job playing him. So
Even the Last Dragon, as cheesy as it is, it's still fantastic.
Dude, I love that movie. Come on, Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, it's great, dude. I
Come
love
on,
it. Yeah,
son.
it's classic.
Yeah, it's classic. I love
Leroy.
Bruce Leroy. Yeah. It's such a fun movie, man. Everybody, Kung Fu movies are great. Speaking of Kung Fu movies, let's go over the tiers. That doesn't segue at all.
Nice segue.
So we have the Lucius Freeman here. That's nice. Just kidding. So this is what is this one? My eyes are bad, Julius. You gotta help me out. Support.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. That you look at
you're good. You're good.
rewards.
Okay, so we got
We have three. It's just 3 tiers. We have the
Okay.
white belt tier, the brown belt tier, and the
Oh,
black belt
nice.
tier.
Oh, that's so fun.
Okay.
And so the white belt tier is just the book. It's with the Ken cover, and that's all you get with that tier is $25 flat fee. So there's no shipping and handling. It's all combined there with that 25 price point. And we fulfill November. Hopefully if we reach the goal, but that's the fulfillment goal is November of this year because the book is done. The book is complete.
I read it.
So
Yeah.
Very cool.
It just has to go. It has to go to the printers and then off to the shipping it goes. So and the brown belt is this is a virgin cover wraparound foil cover drawn by Afu Chan. If you let me share my screen so I can show a close up of this image. Just give me a second here. This one was drawn by Afu Chan. I met Afu during the time when I was like I was saying I was really trying to hone my craft and find I was hiring artists to help draw short stories so that way I can get accustomed to working with different types of personality types, I guess, which was the idea when I hired Apu-chan. And so he drew this double page here of him fighting his master in the dojo.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So this will be a wraparound.
Cool.
Yeah, this will be a wraparound. There will be no logo, nothing. Foil cover.
Man, I love that.
Only available on the Kickstarter. It won't be available after the Kickstarter closes. So this is like a special exclusive offer.
Are you going to be going into late backers?
No,
No,
I'm not.
Well, I just asked because then this is a limited cover.
It's a limited thing. So if you miss out, unfortunately, guys, you're gonna miss out. And so
don't miss out.
Yeah, don't miss out. Don't miss out on this one because I want to keep things a little special for people who decide to back because it is a lot to ask. The 10K. So I want to make things a little special for those who do decide to back, especially if you want to help out with the higher end tiers. Right. Then you got the black belt tier, which is both the wraparound cover and the regular cover, plus the third book, which is the 44-page graphite edition of book 2, titled "A Fistful of Glory."
Who did the cover? Who did the cover for that one?
The cover for that one is the one and only. Hold on, let me get it up here. Rich Ayala, homeboy of mine.
You hit it. You hit it, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. And this is the cover you'll get for that graphite edition.
Cool.
That he drew for me.
Oh man.
And look at that. Beautiful cover here.
I love that.
And it's funny when he gave me this when I hired him and I said, "Oh, can you draw a cover for me?" Of course, he said, "Yeah." And he threw some ideas, and then he gave me this one, and I was like, "Dude, this is perfect. Yeah, let's go with
Rich
this."
is fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm a Rich Ayala fan. Yeah.
And so everyone that I showed it to were like, "Dude, is this like a story?" And I was like, "No, it's not. It's just a cover." But now the seed, the wheels are turning. Now that the more I look at this cover,
yeah, that shadow behind him,
yeah,
it's so good,
I love that.
It's
so
really
perfect.
cool, man. Yeah, he crushed it. So yeah, that's and hey, you get more bang for your buck there. You get the limited Rich Ayala plus. It's another story in there, right?
It's the events that occur after book 1.
Oh, okay. There you
go. So it's a continuation of the story, the story arc, and now the artist is Chepe Rios, and so you'll get that. You get 3 books. That's the black belt tier. It's the regular cover, the wraparound foil, and that graphite edition. And the graphite edition is only available on that tier.
And that's what's fantastic is it's a 71-page book for the book. You're getting 2 of those because you're getting the variant cover, which is only exclusive through Kickstarter. So that's 142 pages. Plus you're getting the 40 pages. You're getting almost 200 pages of content. Like that's a fantastic price point to me. Plus you get limited covers. You're not going to get anywhere else. And Rich Ayala bangs it every time. So you're not going to regret backing that for sure. So you're going to want to pick that up, everybody, and you got 2 claimed. Let's see that quadruple by 20. I don't know what number that is, but let's do it. Get back that one, everybody, because that is you're not going to regret getting that. You get more Julious, you get more art, more story. It's fantastic. You're going to want to pick that up. Great price point, sir. And I do like that you have 3 tiers. Like it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, straightforward. Yeah. I just wanted to, I know there's lately with crowdfunding, there's delays, there's people who've been burned, the people who never received their books. And so I figured, this is the perfect opportunity for me to offer this because it is, like I said, done, and you don't have to wait that long to get your copies. And again, the 10,000 goal is not just to fund the book; it's part of it, but the other part of it is to help build the brand, is to help build Elusive Comic. I have countless stories. If you saw in the page, there's a Samuel Zion. That's my mystical story there about a man named Samuel Zion who is cursed with immortality because he released a bunch of spiritual demonic entities from the Solomon's temple back in ancient times, and he was cursed by King Solomon to wander the earth to collect the entities he released those years. So he the best way I could describe this story is a disgruntled employee who is overworking his same job routine and he's ready to quit. And that's what the story is. Character is ready to quit, meaning he knows he can't die until he collects the entities. So now he's kind of forced to do it.
With that concept, this art fits it perfectly. So
yeah. Greg Warrenchak is the artist of this. It's currently live on my Substack, my paid Substack, Elusive Lounge, for $5 a month. If you sign up today, from today until the end of the campaign, it's the first month free on that Substack. So you're going to have access to all the material behind the paywall for a month before the $5 a month kicks in. And there's currently, I have 12 pages up of this story on that Substack if you want to take a gander at it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. I'm not too adversed with Substack, so interesting.
Yeah. And also, if you do sign up, another thing I forgot to add on to that. See, this is why I'm a terrible marketing promo guy.
No, you're doing great. Hey, man, it's not like I'm the best at it either.
Yeah, so, dude, it's because I keep forgetting these things. I'm not used to it. But the other thing that you will get if you sign up to the Substack during the campaign when it's live is you're going to get 25% off any of the tiers on Kickstarter.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Oh, very cool.
So you get like a promo code that you can enter into the thing.
No, you'll get the email once you sign in. Like once you sign up, you'll get the automatic email with the secret perk links.
Secret perk link
that you can click on, and there'll be a 25% discount on all the tiers.
Angela, I don't know if you have access to his Substack link.
I'm trying to find it actually.
I'm sorry, I should have provided that to you guys.
Yeah, but can you drop your Substack in the private chat, Julius?
I will share it.
Okay. I'll find it. I'll get it right here.
Yeah. Cool. But while he searches for that and gets that, this is cool. I like this. And that's the thing, like he said, with the 10K goal, like, hey, like some people put their goals up for certain reasons. And other than that, it is what it is. But 10K, he's not wrong as far as like making a comic with paying the artist, paying the letterer, paying, the editor and all that jazz, a colorist. It adds up. So that goal is actually a real goal. Like that's not just like, hey, I need $500 and I'm gonna make it, so why not? It's like like with Frog G, we had a $1,200 goal because Ink Spots and I are the only ones working on it.
Right.
We didn't have to pay really anyone else. We do have to pay it's a different story, but we wanted to print and ship. That's what we wanted the money for, so we got it. You have to pay a bunch of people, so you know it adds up.
The idea is to build this I guess the brand in terms of I'm going to start going webcomic heavy after this Kickstarter.
Okay.
And that way, you know, you get the access of not only Samuel Zion, but other stories that I have in development. You know, for instance, I have the idea of maybe putting book 2 on there, or even if I start production on book 3, put it up there in that Substack, so that way people can get first access to that story before anyone else does.
Well, also you have the Global Comic.
I have the Global Comics.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's cool.
Yeah,
I have the Global Comics active. So again, right now I'm in this transition period where I'm kind of I'm shifting things around, so that way going forward, I have all this stuff available for you guys to access, and get to the point where as the Substack grows, you know, open up a Webtoons, open up all the other platforms that are available where I could, you know, trickle out the stuff that I have behind the paywall, so that way people can hopefully funnel to the Substack.
Well, Ink Spots and I, we have this conversation quite a bit, and the crowdfunding scene is not what it once was. Like it just isn't. Like in all reality, I don't care where you stand on any divide. It just wasn't what it once was. Yeah. And the economy is a big reason. Also, COVID's over.
Absolutely.
So, like these are two major factors that really hit the crowdfunding scene. So it's harder and harder and harder to get these books that we love to do, that we want to put in your hands out there, because we need the finances to really make
absolutely these. And that's the reason. That's the reason why I'm offering the 25% off. That's the reason.
That's awesome.
And that it's just I'm trying to get people to just not feel heavy when backing a book.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But like I said, your price point is great even on the book itself alone. You know, you're right there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Once I can find the freaking thing. So yeah, $25 for the amount of content that you're providing for just the flat out issue. It's a great price point. Like that's good. Like, you know what I mean? And plus you're offering the discount on top of it if you join that Substack. So it's a good deal. It's a great price point. I think it's fantastic. And it's not cheap to make these things. And these aren't cheap products. It's not like these are like, you know, flimsy little pieces of paper that you pick up, and they're high quality products that you get in your hand. It's physical material. So absolutely. And to say that, hey, it's just not to say you can never do your dream. Like if, let's say Ink and I never sell anything ever again, we get zero backers from here on out, we'll probably put something up somewhere in some way, shape, or form, because we love doing this. You love doing this. You're going to do it no matter what. Like, you know, but hey, you want to make it to what you want it to be, which is a comic book. Yeah. So yeah. And that's oh no, go ahead, Julius.
No, I was going to say that you're right about crowdfunding not being the same as it was. So it's not a matter of a doomsaying kind of thing where it's over. You know, I don't believe it's over. It's a tool. You just got to learn how to use it properly going forward. And I feel that the future is put your stuff out there digitally first, webcomic wise, and then build your readership there, because it's easy to, you know, click on something and you could scroll through your phone or your tablet, whatever, and read it. And then if you offer the print, hey, maybe they'll click on the print and get a print on demand, because that's the goal too, is to open up a print on demand store. Yes. So, but it won't be in this comic book American size. It'll be, I'm going to sell Good Old Dragon after the campaign as a manga size cut.
Oh, okay.
You know, version.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be cheaper, you know, more accessible price wise, but it won't be a high quality, which is right here, which is the
this is the Rolls Royce of
exactly. So you'll still have access to Get Old Dragon. It's not like you're not going to be able to get access to it anymore. It just won't be in that form that I'm offering here in Kickstarter.
Yeah. So everybody, please pledge for it. Yeah. Share it out there if you can't. We understand.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, just share out you don't have to share out this YouTube stream even. You just share out the link for his campaign on your social media platform of choice.
And also don't feel like you have to stay on the Substack if you don't want to. You could cancel anytime. It won't hurt my feelings. It just
it'll hurt his feelings.
You know, for me, it's like take advantage of the deal. I'm offering you a good deal. Take advantage of it. Don't
let him lie to
sleep
you.
on it.
You'll hurt
you real quick explain Substack? I'm not really 100% familiar with it. How does this work as a
Substack is like I guess it's like a writer heavy platform.
Okay.
So I mean, no, I don't want to say writer heavy. It does push right, like for instance, Tyler. I don't know if you guys know Tyler, comics and talk. I think his YouTube channel is called.
I have not
Tyler. I forget what he's a marketing, comic book marketing. He does the Super Mario Plumber Sisters book.
Okay.
But
I know that book.
Yeah. So Tyler, he and I were talking about the putting ourselves out there, right? Getting our stuff to the most amount of people, awareness of your book. And one day not one day, but during the conversation, he asked me, "Do you like making YouTube videos? Do you like doing live streams?" And I told him, "No, I don't. I don't like it, but I have to do it because that's where the audience is at, right?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Great, that's a great example. Draw and Talk. Thank you, Paul Sarge.
Draw and Talk.
Oh, I know Draw and Talk.
Yeah, Draw and Talk. Yeah, thank you. I couldn't remember the name of the show.
Okay.
And he said, "No, that's perfect. That's perfect that you don't like that, because if you like to write more, then Substack is the place for you."
Right.
And there's a whole thing there, and you could funnel your fans there, you could funnel your readers there, and they could get access to all your stuff. It could be like a sub hub of all your stuff in that one platform. So you could do videos there, you could do streams there, podcasts. It lets you do all sorts of things. I'm barely getting used to it, and I'm starting to dig it more and more that I use it.
Okay.
And so I figured, why not start off at the ground floor and make it as I don't want to say cheap, but financially accessible to as many people as possible.
Yeah. And yeah, from what my understanding was, Substack was more of a written platform than anything else. And to me, I imagine Substack to be like Instagram for visual people. Like it is, like you can still post things that's written in there and stuff, but it is mainly for the visual people. Substack is more for like the writers, and that's
so the writer and also readers, people who actually like to read.
And readers,
yeah.
So everybody go subscribe to Julius' Substack and get that discount and secret perk link, and back Ghetto Dragon because it's fantastic. I read it, I liked it. Art's great. The story flows wonderfully. Got me captured and invested. So it's a good IP. I enjoyed it, and get it.
Did you mention a digital tier? Sorry, I was like,
there is no digital tier.
Okay.
You have to go to Global Comics right now. On Global Comics, there is a 20% discount off the PDF. So if you want to download the PDF and check it out, read the story before you want to back the physical. Currently, it's at 20% if you want to download it.
Yeah. So you can still get your taste, if you will. Hey, I'm a collector. I like the physical media, so it is what it is. I also like the original physical media. It gets expensive, so
exactly.
Yeah, I know. I know you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to trade. I want the OG.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
It's like I can't afford all this stuff. Oh, real quick, Batman #1. Come on, they relaunched again. I'm getting fed up, man. Just stick with the story that you have in there and integrate it in anyway. All right, I'm done with that.
You're talking about the all-in? You're talking about the all-in Batman?
The all-in Batman. Like,
are you talking about the book?
No, there's a new Batman #1. Julius knows about.
Okay.
Yeah. It's I think Matt Fraction is the writer, and Jorge Jimenez is the artist. Yeah. I mean, so far it's creating a good amount of buzz because Matt Fraction went on record saying that every issue it's a standalone story. It's a beginning, middle, and end. There's no story arc.
Just do that in Batman, like just.
I see. The regular Batman series.
Yeah, just do it. Like I don't understand. You don't have to read. #1. It gets buzzed because it's in #1. Like if you just integrate these ideas and concepts into the main story arc and just like put them as standalone stories like they were initially anyway.
I think this goes back to what you said earlier about the public domain thing with Superman. They might be trying to get ahead of Batman because Batman's right like a year before or a year after Superman was public domain. So that's probably what they're doing that for.
Yeah, it's like everybody's making a big. I'm like, look, there's been 4 reiterations of Batman #1s in my lifetime. That's one every 10 years, almost. Yeah, it's like it's not like a big thing, people. Like everybody's like, oh, new Batman #1. I like Absolute Batman. I think it's fun. It's a different version of it.
Yeah,
but
I love that.
Yeah, because it's a totally different concept in a way. Like it's still Batman, but they're revisioning it. This is just it's Batman. Oh, Gordon's not the commissioner. What did he do? Like it's like I don't like. Come on, guys. Like whatever.
What about Batman versus Deadpool? What do you think about that?
That's just a gimmick to get people to buy
comics.
I don't know. That's like a 10 years too late kind of thing for me.
Is. And it's also 10 years too late for Capullo. So yeah.
Yeah, I would have preferred. Honestly, I would have preferred Deathstroke versus Captain America.
Oh, see, there you go. That would have been even more.
That would have been that. I would have been first in line for that one.
And I would have preferred if you get Capullo, get Danny Miki to ink him and get that grittier style back that you had back in Spawn and stuff like that, and Creech and stuff like that. So yeah, Capullo's he's kind of just phoning it in at this point.
Hollis is asking, so there's a main title Batman and an all-in Batman?
Yes.
Clarification? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. I get fed up with it, but that's why you get Ghetto Dragon, and you don't have to worry about it because that is a number one, and you're not going to retool it every other,
Yeah, and that's I think that's the main, well, not the main reason, but one of the reasons why manga is beating out American sales, because a lot of the newer fans or new readers, I should say, when they go in because they were introduced to, say, for instance, One Piece or whatever anime that's out there on
One
Netflix,
Punch Man, or even like Dragon Ball Z,
and a lot of those kids are like, oh, they have books. I want the books. And you can go to a shop and say, do you have One Piece? And then they'll point you to it, and you can get book 1 and start there.
Yeah.
But when you want to start a book, like say a Batman or a Superman, you say, oh, I want to start the beginning. Well, actually,
and that's
the beginning.
And even still, let's say they never did a new number 1 ever, and Batman's at issue like 1022. You could be like, well, here's the trade of the first 50. Like you can't afford the other ones because they were printed so long ago. That's $1 million, but you can still absorb the content and get caught up through this way. You got decades of material, and you just revamp. There's no point in getting the older ones at this point, unless you just want to know the original lore, because they're like I said, they're not totally changing everything with this number 1. They're retooling a couple things here and there to make it a little fresh. It's like, no, Absolute Batman really made it unique. Like they changed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I like the art style of it. Also, I think Dragota's pretty good.
That was again an example of everything aligning perfectly and it's working out. I didn't think it was going to be as good as it is.
I was hesitant myself. I was hesitant myself as well. But that being said, we want you to get Ghetto Dragon. Pick it up. Link is in the description below, as well as pinned to the top of the chat.
It all starts there.
It all starts there, and it'll keep going from there. So you don't have to worry about it.
I think we've gotten one backer since we've been on. When I first checked it, it had 9, and then when I refreshed it, it said 10. So, I mean, I don't know if that's anyone here. So
we're going to take it.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
We'll take it. We'll take that back.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
We need more, though. We want this to get funded, so please share it out. And is there any last questions in the chat? Do you have any
I'm not seeing anyone. This definitely. Oh no, there's another backer. We've had 2 backers. It's 11 backers now. So thank you again. Cheers for backing.
Right. Get it.
Jason Bump is real.
No,
no,
this is a rare occurrence, my friend. It's a good product, is what it is.
Yeah,
and
I did put a lot of my heart and soul into this project. Like I said, it's very near and dear to me. It's a sliver of what my upbringing was a little bit, and again, the mixture of, like I said, the stories that my older brother told me when I got older, and he learned that I was pursuing comics. And so he would, I got some stories for you. And we sat down one day over a beer, and he just started telling me these
nice,
let's just say horrific stories.
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa.
But you draw from, like, I'm not saying
exactly.
You draw from life, like you get stuff from life, and that's the way it works.
I will. Can I share one story that
no,
it didn't make it to the story?
No, we are done, Julie. No, go ahead.
There was one that I could share with you because he's passed away. He's no longer with us. He passed away 10 years ago. I remember when I was about 11, there was a drive-by shooting right at my house, directed at my house. We're all in the front yard, and I distinctly remember hearing the screeching of the tires from the corner of the street, and I could see the car, like in the movies, right? Just almost lose control, speed. I saw the guy climb out of the back seat, and he was pointing right at my house, and we all jumped down the floor, pop, 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 right, and then the car takes off, and cops were called. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
Yeah.
But I never knew what happened until fast forward when I was, 20, and of course my older brother, he was already in his 40s at that point. When he found out that I was trying to write comics, he sat me down. I asked him, "Hey, do you remember that drive-by shooting that happened in at the house?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." And I asked him, "What happened with that? Well, why did our house get targeted?" He's like, "Because they thought they saw me on the porch."
Oh, jeez.
And so, but he wasn't there with us that day. And so he said someone drove by and they thought they saw me on the porch, and so they decided to try to take me out. But they broke the street code, and I was like, "What's the street code?" So check this out. So there's this unwritten street code where all the gangs who have their respective territories, they have these rules. If you're part of the game, you're fair game. But if you're not part of the game, you're off limits. Meaning, if you have family or friends who are not part of "quote unquote" the street game, you couldn't touch them unless they violated something, like unless they started a fight themselves. And you can't do anything when you're with family. So if you're around family, they can't do anything to you until you're by yourself. So they violated, right, the code, and so the rival gang gave the green light, as the term is known, to take out the guys that did it.
Oh, geez.
But they went into hiding. This is what he told me. They went into hiding, and so they couldn't find them. And so when my brother, God rest his soul, he knew where one of the guys lived at, and he broke into their house, found the guy's mom sleeping on her bed, pressed his gun to her tempo, shook her awake, right? So she's woken up petrified, and he told her, "You tell your son to come out of hiding, or else I'm going to come back, and you're not going to wake up."
Oh no!
Damn.
Jeez,
and
dude.
then he climbed out the window and left, and sure enough, they came out. They got their comeuppance. They didn't kill him. They just beat him up, apparently.
Oh man.
And so I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, "All right."
This is what I tell myself, like, and I do recognize it every now and then. I'm like, man, I'm so glad I didn't grow up in these kind of a neighborhood, because, like, I grew up in pretty good neighborhoods, like all due respect. And like even when I went to college, I lived in a slightly seedy area a little bit, but it wasn't that bad at all. So I was, like I said, like my life's been pretty tough, but I never grew up in something like that where I had to worry about.
How old were you?
For it. So,
it was all around me, but thankfully my older brother, he shielded it from.
Oh, good.
He tried to shield it from us as much as possible, but he was also in the same thought of like, well, if you're over 18, you want to do it, then I'm not going to stop you.
Right.
But if you want to be part of it, I'll show you the ropes. But if you don't, stay the hell away from me.
Right.
Don't hang out with me.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much me. So I was the brother who read the nerdy brother who read comic books.
Yeah.
How old were you when that happened?
He was 10.
I was 10 when that happened. So he must have been in his 20s.
Oh man.
Yeah, maybe late 20s probably.
Is there a character in your book that is like kind of based on your brother?
It's not totally. It's like Slivers and Dreamer. Dreamer was his name. That was his gangster name.
That was his gangster name? Okay.
Yeah. So that was like my own little tribute to my older brother, was naming the villain. Because that's the thing he always joked to me about was, if you put me in the book, you gotta make me the villain. You can't make me the good
guy. You honored your brother's wishes. That's so sweet.
Yeah, he was aware. He was self-aware, which is why I respected him. He knew what he did. He knew what he was about, and he never tried to like gloss over it. It's like I've done terrible things to people. I'm not proud of it, but it's part of the game.
Right.
This is part of it. I have to do it, or else they're going to do me first.
Well, and like we said though, you draw from life, you inject it into the stories, and you also carry on family legacy of people who are no longer here through that. So and it is, like you said, these things aren't just like simple little, the fun little story I want to tell. No, these are parts of our lives. These are constants, these ways we grew up. Like, so you're also supporting not just Julious, but like his dream is carry on of a legacy of family. Absolutely. Like it's like that with a lot of us. So pick it up, read it. It's a great story. I really like it, and I'm interested to see where it goes. So everybody check out, link is pinned at the top of the chat description below. Get Ghetto Dragon. We got a couple today, so that's fantastic.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
So any last questions, Angela, in the chat?
No.
Do you have any more?
Oliver says you living the posh life, Jason. Don't lie.
I do.
Henry,
hey, pinky out all day, Ollie. You know what I mean?
His pinky out with his acting. Henry Bemis was dropping links too either. So cheers, Henry.
Thank you, Henry Bemis.
And boobs.
Appreciate that.
Oh yeah, boobs. Yeah, we never talked about boobs, but anyway.
He asked me earlier to say something profane. He's probably not here anymore, but because he's at work, so he wanted everyone around to hear somebody drop some.
We didn't get into the whole booby talk, but that's fine. There's always
we gotta come back. We gotta talk about.
We'll have. No, we're not gonna have Julius back. We're not gonna have Julius back. We'll have Lucius back. So
I gotta get Lucius.
I'm changing that thumbnail. I don't care what you say.
Lucius Freeman, man.
I don't know why I butchered that.
No, anyway, thank you, Paulus.
I have one last question for you. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, good question. It would have to be flight.
Nice.
It would have to be flight.
I would flight.
Yeah, one of my lucid dreams. Going back to the lucid dream, in the full circle moment. One of my lucid dreams was that I was able to fly.
Nice.
And see the constant changing of the dream landscape as I was flying over it. It was pretty amazing.
Never able to fly for some reason, and I remember them. I don't know if I was lucid dream or not, but I can't fly, but I can Hulk it. I can like jump. Nice. It's weird. Like I don't know why. I go really far and I slowly start to descend. I'm like, oh, this ain't too bad. Like it's like it's not terrible. It's not like a scary thing. It's more like, oh, I'm slowly going down. Okay, so kind of like feather fall in D&D. But
you ever like land and then hit the ground and wake up?
No.
Oh, I've had a few dreams like that.
I know of.
I've done that. I trip though. I don't fly. It's not when I'm flying. It's I trip and I wake up. And I'm like, okay. Every dream I trip.
We are going to close out here, but I will say I do know why. Like, you know how when you're about to fall asleep, you jerk yourself awake?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's because your brain thinks you're actually falling. And so that you're actually falling. And it's an alert mechanism.
Interesting.
It's a safety mechanism. It wakes you up. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's weird. So I didn't know that. So everybody check out Ghetto Dragon. We're
do it.
Do it. Back it. Share it if you can't. I'm going to hit this button. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to hit the button right here. It goes like this.
Goodbye, Chocolate Mousse. I'll never forget you. Goodbye, Ducroix. Take care of yourself. Goodbye, Déjà Vu. I'll always remember you. And I'll miss you most of all, Scarecrow.